Greetings. Joining me now in this fantastic glass room of the Marriott's Boulevard Hotel here in Baku is none other than Magnus Carlsen, who has just defeated Pragnananda in the final and therefore is the winner of the 2023 FIDE World Cup. Magnus, congratulations on this huge success. 5 times classical world chess champion, 4 times world rapid chess champion, 6 times world blitz chess champion, #1 FIDE rated since July 2011. You must be really very happy to achieve the only major trophy missing in your full cabinet room. Tell us about your sensations now.
Yeah, I'm obviously happy and a bit relieved as well. You know, this is this is what I came for, really. The World Cup wasn't really a thing for me before I busted out in 2017 at an early stage. Because to be honest, in 2017 I played because I thought it's an interesting, fun event, a new sort of experience that I hadn't had for a bit. But after I did so badly then, I thought, yeah, I cannot let that be my record. And so in 2021, I was pretty happy with my performance. Really, was really good to win 6 out of 7 rounds and get the bronze medal. But yeah, it was still missing. And I knew coming here this time that even if I'd have like a good event, nothing would satisfy me except the win. So I'm really happy.
I was there when you got knocked out by Duda and you were devastated. That was, I thought, a really tough moment for you. So you played the 2 matches confidently. You beat Pansulaya Tari, no tie breaks. But the turning point could have been in the 3rd round against youngster Keimar. Was this the most difficult match of the tournament? But before you answer, I think someone has come to congratulate you in the interview.
No, we already.
Okay, so FIDE President Arkady Dvorkovich, would you say that was the turning point, not only because you saved a very delicate position, but also because you said in the interview it was sort of a signal, an aware sign, focus. Would you say that was the turning point in your match here?
Well, I'd like to hit on the point about the last World Cup first. So it's true that immediately as I was knocked out by Duda, I was pretty distressed. The thing is, it didn't last very long. It quickly turned into, well, I have another match to play, and I'm anyway fairly happy with my performance. Like getting to the semifinal is good, and also then I had to endure some pretty difficult tie breaks. Of course, the match against Keimar, that was the key point. It really was the only really difficult moment of the World Cup, and it's a little bit weird since it came so early, and it just shows like yeah, how like really how fragile your World Cup life, if you can call it that, is. Of course, there was a moment against Após as well, but yeah, that was one moment, and none of us really saw it. So that wasn't too bad. I think the thing about the Keimar match is that I usually play quite a lot worse in these must-win situations. So I think that's one of the reasons. Like, obviously, the first game, it was developing normally. He was playing well. I was playing okay. There was nothing much in it until, you know, one moment when I just completely fell asleep, and he converted really well. And yeah, that should have been all it took to knock me out. And yeah, I mean, I did feel after that, yeah, I should not put myself in that position again. But I thought, like, any time that I'm not in a must-win situation, just be patient, and chances will occur.
So then, apart from Abasov, you defeated Ivanchuk, legend. You defeated Gukesh, also without a tiebreak. And then just before the final against Pragnanda, you catch a stomach bug, which is very unfortunate. We were talking before. Do you know what happened? Something you ate, something you drank? And how do you deal with these things? Because I'm sure that's not the first time you've had some physical problem in the middle of the tournament.
No, I definitely had problems before. You know, these things happen. Like previously at tournaments, including in Azerbaijan, I've had I brought a chef, not only to cook but also to make sure that everything I eat is okay. And I think it came from a place that I'd ordered from a couple of times, because I mean, to be honest, I got pretty sick of the hotel food quickly, so I discovered that you could order food here as well. So that's what I was doing for a bit. I was ordering from the same place a couple of times. It was always fine, and then suddenly, like right after I ate, I started to feel bloated, and then it didn't really go away, and I sort of recognized the sensation that, yeah, this is really bad. How do I deal with it? Probably not in the best way. What I should have done is I should have tried to get medical help immediately. I was sort of thinking, like, I have at least a day off before the next game. Let's try and rest up, see if it gets better. Let's, you know, try and relax for a bit, maybe eat like after a day or something. It obviously didn't work. And then, yeah, fortunately, after the first game against Prague, I got some help, and after that, at least, the problem sort of went away, except from the fact that I was still exhausted. But yeah, I've been sort of brought up in a way that you don't call a doctor unless you have to. Partly because they're usually dealing with more important thing. But yeah, I know that I should probably have consulted earlier. But it turned out okay. I mean, I wasn't in anywhere near top shape for the final, but you know, I prevailed. That's the most important thing.
So 2 draws against Prague in the classicals. Of course, you're just trying to more or less hang on, you know, get the draws, go to the tiebreak. And today you won the first game quite convincingly. Seemed you changed queens, went to the ending, not much happening, and then suddenly you win, and then a draw on the. Tell me about Prague. What is your feeling? What you've seen here? Will he be a contender for the World Championship in the future, in your opinion?
Let me speak about the match a little bit first. Obviously, the first game of the classical portion was big. I mean, I thought that's when I was at sort of my lowest physically, and I had black, so that clearly would be the most difficult moment on paper. As I spoke about earlier, I just tried to, you know, be calm, try and solve my problems gradually, not do anything too crazy. And I did take some comfort in the fact that he'd played well, not only a very, very tough match against Fabi, where he had to really use all his talent to draw both the classical games and then to hang on and win the tiebreak, as well as an extremely tough match, both I think physically and mentally, against Arjun, where he only had one rest day after, whereas I did have two. Like, that was the advantage of winning a lot of matches in classical, that I did get extra rest day here and there. I wouldn't say the first rapid game was anywhere near convincing. I think I was caught out a little bit in the opening. Didn't really, I mean, to be honest, I didn't know the line at all, so I was trying to play common sense moves. And then I realized, after I played the move queen d6, that after queen g3, I was pretty much busted. Because I'm always sort of relying on having knight h5, and then forcing his queen away, and then going back with the knight, inviting a repetition there. And as soon as he went queen g3, I realized that the queen can go to g5. Like, normally you've already played h6, so that's not a thing. And as long as I don't have knight h5, I'm in a lot of trouble. If I go knight g6, I'm risking that I just get mated after he takes, brings the knight to g5, goes with his queen. So this knight h5 idea was born out of desperation more than anything else. I just didn't see what to do, but I thought my position was extremely dubious. And then, yeah, he went queen g5, g6, then he went knight f5 very quickly. And I thought, okay, this is nerves. This is nerves, you know, this is, yeah, he's probably a bit too excited here. And then I thought, okay, I'm back in the game. I'm fine. Yeah, after that, well, I got the exchange of queens. I thought after that I should be slightly better, probably because of the pawn structure. But in reality, it wasn't so easy. Then he sort of started out playing me slightly. I was really just holding on until he made this move g4. And then I thought again, okay, this is youth, because it's not a bad move, but it does leave me with some long-term potential. And again, I was thinking, hold on. If you can just defend, and he doesn't sort of start to pull the emergency brake and play for a draw, you will get chances. So just hold on. And after that, yeah, it went like a dream. I was just defending. I was really happy with this maneuver. Rook e6, f6, then bringing the king around. And I think the lower the time gets, the importance or the strength of the knights increase and the bishops decrease a bit. And then it really went remarkably smoothly from there. He got short of time, he got rattled, all my moves were easy to make. Yeah, that was the big moment. To answer your question about Prague, I can say, like, if he isn't the world championship contender in the future, then who is? So I think there are a number of young players who could contend for the World Championship in the future. Prague is certainly one of them. Gukesh is another. To be honest, I was lucky that I had, I think, by far my best day of the tournament during the first game against Gukesh. Otherwise, I think that match would have been extremely tough. Then you have others like Abdusatorov. He was knocked out early. He was also in my path. Possible last 16 opponent, which would have been extremely tough. But he's also like, even though he had a bad event here, he's also very tough and very strong from a mental point of view. And I think that's what you see with Prague as well, that he's not only the calculation monster, but he's also very, very tough mentally.
Magnus, we were talking before the interview. Tell us about your team here, if you have a team here, online, who helped you here, who supported you. How necessary is to get that support at this type of long tournaments, different to other ones which are shorter? But you normally have a surrounding, you have a entourage, people come with you to the tournaments, but you were telling me that you came alone here this time. That's a big difference.
Yeah. First of all, I had very good help from Peter. He was working very well. Even sometimes I wasn't sure what to do, and I basically said, "Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to play. Just you figure something out." And he was helping me really well, as he has, frankly, for the last 10 years, and even some years before that when we were working together. Obviously, I had good emotional support from family, friends at home. Like even the times when I was sort of expressing, even as I expressed to you that I didn't particularly like fancy being here, they were helping me. I've been like traveling solo quite a bit for rapid events for a while now, and I have felt that I'm usually pretty well. I have been comfortable with that recently, managing to keep a good routine and good discipline as well. So my thought was, yeah, let's try this out. It's been working well. Just to have as few distractions as possible.
Magnus, you're a man of goals. Winning here is a clear testament to that. What new goals are you setting for yourself? What tournaments are you planning to do in the future? But above all, what are the goals? You mentioned at one point you wanted to try and get to 2,900. Is that still a goal? You've just won the World Cup. What else do you want to do in the near future? Let's say the next 2-3 years.
Yeah, I think 2,900 is something that I've put on hold. I don't think that at this point. Well, first of all, it's extremely unrealistic now that my rating has dropped quite a bit. But also, I don't see myself putting in the work to make it realistic. In terms of goals, I don't know. Try and have some fun.
Of course. Give me something more specific.
Yeah.
Chess-wise. We'll talk about the other things afterwards, but chess-wise, I mean, win the Olympiad with Norway, would that be a goal you would like to achieve? Will we be seeing you in Budapest in 2024, for example?
Yeah, I quite enjoyed the Olympiad last time. And it was my impression that my teammates did as well. even though we had a sort of historically poor performance, the team spirit was really good. So I can certainly, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and make promises, but I can certainly see myself playing the Olympiads next year. In terms of winning it, that's really tough. But we have some kids coming up, like Elam, who's almost a GM now and is certainly GM strength. Semen Mityusov as well, who came from Ukraine, and Axel Bukvale, who just became an IM. I don't know if he's 15 or turning 15 this year, but he's also quite good. So in a few years, they might be in the national team. So that's something to look forward to. Yeah, apart from that, I see myself being fairly selective with classical tournaments that I play, and Rapid and Blitz I enjoy a lot. So I'll continue to play. I think quite a bit of those events for sure. But yeah, this is really was sort of the last thing.
So to finish this question, Magnus, I wanted to ask you this question several times during the tournament, but I refrained from doing so. But you're not leaving here without answering. You've just won the first place and ticket to the candidates in 2024. You did say the other day on a stream that everyone had to assume, these are your words, that you were not going to play the candidates. But when you said you weren't going to defend your title, no one believed you. But then your word was true. You kept your word. So you will also say that classical chess is boring and stressful. You said that to me in one of the interviews. Can you more or less confirm conclusively that we won't be seeing you fighting for the World Championship again, especially now that you've achieved your ultimate goal?
I mean, I cannot confirm that I will not be playing for the World Championship in the future because I don't know that for sure. When it comes to the candidates, I can only reiterate what I said. Under the current format, I don't see any way, and I'm not trying to change the format for this cycle either. So yeah, everybody should just assume that that when I say things that I mean them. Yeah. And when I was speaking before after the World Championship match in 2021 and other times before the candidates as well, it really was only that I was expressing that I wasn't 100% sure that I would not play the World Championship match, but it was unlikely, and it would depend on my opponent in the World Championship match, at least to some extent. So I did feel that I was like consistently expressing exactly what my thoughts were. So yeah, I mean, if people choose not to believe it because that's not how other people think, that's fair enough. But I don't think I should be blamed. And if I had to make a decision like earlier, then I was always saying that, yeah, if I have to make a decision, then the decision is no. And if I can wait, then I will wait. As now for the candidates, yeah, I don't see, as I said, I don't see any scenario in which I play the candidates. It just doesn't motivate or interest me. Yeah, I mean that's more or less it.
My last two questions. First, my last chess question. Did you actually play the chess.com speed championship last night, 8 games? Was there a sort of warm-up for today, or what happened there?
Yeah, it was sort of to warm up a little bit and like test if my brain works, and I think the answer was sort of because I mean I was winning some games, but I wasn't playing well. I could feel that okay, I'm still not feeling so good. So I thought, yeah, I mean, let's play a few games and then see how I feel. And the answer was, yeah.
7.5 out of 8.
Yeah, but you should really look beyond the score. My play wasn't very good. Like, not to take anything away from the others, but I think anyone who looks at those games will agree that they weren't particularly good.
Okay, so let's wrap it up with the last question. Other hobbies, interests? You're playing poker now. You're playing World Series Championships, some other ones in Norway. We've seen here you're sharpening up your golf game. Probably you have to tell me about this golf thing. Is it a bet with Peter Hein Nielsen, your trainer, or is it some other thing? You're occasionally streaming. What other things are interesting you these days, and specifically this golf thing and your poker career, if we can say it like that?
I don't think there is a poker career to talk about. I always liked playing poker. And I've actually played sort of less poker, I would say, the last couple of years than I have before. It just so happens that the few times that I played poker, it's been on bigger stages. So I don't think anything will change there. I don't have any ambitions, but I do want to play from time to time. As with golf, that came about in London. I had this event with Puma, with Christian Pulisic, and he was going to go out golfing after we had the event. And I was talking to my friend Magnus Barstad, who I've known for many years. Like, we both love football and basketball, and then we never really talked much about golf, except that we're not going to start to play golf for a bit, but eventually at some point we have to start playing golf, because it's a natural sort of evolution as you mature. I think. And then we sort of agreed after that event, like, yeah, now it's time to start playing. And it started when I was in Dubai for the global chess league. I mean, obviously Peter loves golf, and Espen Agdestein, who used to be my manager, he loves golf as well. So it hasn't been a shortage of people who were trying to get me to play golf. It was only now that I decided that I want to start to play. So I'm extremely new. I'm terrible, but I'm really into it. So I want to get better for sure.
Magnus, thanks a lot for the interview. It's been a pleasure. Congratulations again, and hope to see you soon in the future.